Welcome back, guys. It is me, your girl, the bold and beautiful Daphney Maciira, on Between the Lines. Again, another episode, another week, another video, another story, another experience. And we are still at Siritamu Resort in Bungoma. It's a nice place, no? It's nice. So, today I have a very special guest. I will let her introduce herself. But before we do that, let us do the drill. You just go take like 2 minutes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Fireplace Show. Like our Facebook page at The Fireplace Studios. Like my page, or you can still add me as a friend on Facebook at Nekesa Maciira. On Instagram at _daf_ke. That is _DAPH__KE. And today we are going actually to listen to another story. This whole week and this whole month we are going to deal with our reproductive health care, reproductive stories, and everything about a woman's reproductive system. So from the previous videos, you're going to realize we're going to have this very nice pattern. And before I say too much, I'll be right back as my guest introduces herself. So welcome back, guys, on Between the Lines. Let my beautiful guest introduce herself. She's so pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you for hosting me. My
Karibu
name is
sana.
Nekesa Okumu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human resource professional and also an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
A mom and an endometriosis warrior.
An endo queen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So she's a mom, an endo warrior, and today we're going to actually deal with the fact on focus on your endometriosis story and journey through it out, and just like tell us how has the experience been with you. Tell us about endometriosis now.
Okay. Basically, when people are talking about reproductive health, most of the time we are thinking of staying a lifestyle without infirmity or sickness. But generally, it's supposed to be a state of mind that is clear and well-being, and also being socially upright in the mind and everything being okay. And when it comes to endometriosis, it denies you that, To me, it happened, I didn't in fact know what it was because, starting your periods, during those times you're told, a little pain is normal. What I want people to know, that pain is not normal. The fact that it is painful, in fact, is not normal. I would be sick, I would faint.
Okay.
Yeah, and most of the time when I would go to the hospital, you just explain and say, I'm not feeling well, I'm having stomach aches. Because you can't explain it,
Yes.
yeah, more than that. How is it, and then you're feeling like it's cramping. So it's the normal period symptoms.
But it is actually
It is something
extreme.
else, yeah. So it's extreme.
Okay.
So it became worse over time, over a period of time.
Okay.
It becomes worse and worse and worse. So now that is when I discovered I might have a problem and I actually need help. And when I say over a long time over a long period of time, it is now when you're married.
Okay,
and
now you have,
yes,
from the time it started,
yes,
all through this time of marriage.
yes, and now you want a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, that is now when you're saying, actually now this is not
this is not normal.
normal. And most of the time, because they told you pain is normal when having periods, you endure, no matter how painful it is, as long as it is going to be over after a week, you're thinking, as long as the periods are over, then you'll be okay. But now to me, it was not like that. There's this pre, then during,
And
then after.
Yes.
So to me, that pre is
pain.
pain in itself.
Okay.
During
Is pain.
is worse pain.
Okay.
Then after is that pain. By the time it starts to subside, then the entire month is done and the cycle repeats itself.
That means you went through pain
every single day of my life. It was painful. Yes.
So sorry about
every single day.
So at what age, like now you you were now married. That is now our long time.
Yes.
You were married, and let's now. When did you actually realize? At what age did you realize now this is a problem?
Let me say, I didn't actually realize it's a problem. You know, you want that, and that is the problem, because I didn't know, and I didn't seek help. I didn't know it was a problem. So when, in turn, when you're looking for something, in my case, now I wanted a baby.
Okay.
Then you realize you have a problem. You see, we have been brought up in a culture whereby you go to hospital when you're sick.
Yes.
But that is not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to go for checkups, dental checkups, optical, general well-being. That is how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
That is why people are going to the hospital and then you find you're in third stage cancer. Reason, you've been feeling this pain and you're taking pain meds.
Painkiller. You're
Yes.
managing this. You're controlling the pain.
Yeah, so by
level
the
of pain.
time you're going now for, it's become, you can't take it anymore, now you're going to the hospital, then you find it is something very serious. That is why I'm telling me, I didn't know it was a problem. To me, it was normal. They were telling us periods are normal. So to me, I didn't see a problem. I will survive through it, even if it means every single day living in pain.
You
Yes.
actually got used to the pain
Yes,
now.
yes, I got used to
It
the
became
pain.
part of you. You knew now this week
This
is
is
going
how
to
it
be
is, yes.
too painful. Next week is going
Yes.
to be a little painful. Okay.
And now that is, I started periods and now I'm almost finishing primary school. Then you get to high school. I was always a visitor of the sick bay, until you are given permission, because they know these are people. There are a few girls, and I think I've been following them up, and it seems we had the same problem. We just didn't know. We were visitors at the sick bay.
You had your months.
Yes.
And your weeks.
Yeah.
Yani ile tu unajua tu
Ile
wiki mko
kuvumilia
wapi.
kwanza, you're trying, because kama tu ni kutokuvumilia, you'll be there every day. But because you're in school, there is this utavumilia, you pass some days and then some days go back to the sick bay, you see.
Okay.
So when it became now to the point that I could faint, I can't walk, I can't laugh, I can't do it. It's painful everywhere. So I was taken to the hospital. Now we're just going to a general physician because you're not feeling well. Misdiagnosed ulcers. So we were treating ulcers throughout my high school, something that I never even suffered.
By the way, it has been a common case. Every time a girl is in pain and she is having abdominal pain,
Yes.
ni ulcers.
Ndio hiyo.
Msichana ako na stress, anafikiria.
So that is how it was.
So you're misdiagnosed with ulcers now, all 4 years.
Yes.
Ukameza 2H ulcers medication and you are handling it with medication. So afterwards, after high school now.
Yeah, you start hustling, went to campus. So when I went to campus, I had a friend of mine. She was also going through the same. And to her now, she had sought living a healthy lifestyle,
Healthy, explain
Yes,
healthy.
in the case of endometriosis, okay, let me explain a little bit. Endometriosis, the endometrium, which is supposed to be on the lining of the uterus, it's outside the uterus. So every time you have a period, it is very, very painful.
It's shedding from outside.
Yeah, it's shedding from outside.
Okay.
So it is very, very painful. So the meals we eat, affect how severe the symptoms are, because there are those meals that will cause inflammation. Now to that thinning side of the uterus, you see, it will cause inflammation, which brings a lot of pain. So this friend of mine was maintaining a healthy eating habit, so that to subside the effects of this inflammation, you see. And mostly she was using nuts, and green smoothies, something like that. So, because I was going through the same, I was like, yeah, we can Google together, research together, come up with this healthy plan that will work for all of us. So I started, and it's a process, because you won't know of it. It is something that will happen over time. So we tried this, trying it is not working. You stop this, you try this. Eventually you find taking these juices or green smoothies is more healthy than this. Using these seeds, these nuts is more, it was just
And being in
trial and
campus,
error.
I know that is so
Yes,
expensive.
yeah, and
You
it is
have to get nuts
expensive.
and smoothies. You
And
have
by
to
that,
fix
those
that.
times, you're hearing of something called flax seeds, black seeds, something that I don't know.
Chia seeds.
Yes, I've
You
never.
start
It is my
wondering,
first
now
time.
what are these?
Then you're going asking for a kg, and they're telling you an amount. You're thinking, I'm supposed to afford this, and this is what I'm supposed to use. So it is something. It's a trial and error, and you're spending on it.
So you buy the nuts and then you realize this nuts are also not working.
And at the same time, you don't know how viable that thing is. You've just Googled it on net, or it's just an advice from someone.
Okay.
That has been my life.
You get advice. You've been working with trials and errors.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it happened at a time when I got a job. Then my sister's friend, she was a nutritionist. Now I went to her and explained. And now through her, at least she will give me a meal plan that was viable and that worked for me.
Okay, so give us a little inlet into this meal plan. What were you having?
Okay, for example, I would have a green smoothie for breakfast. Then I would have salad for lunch and some nuts. You see, then I would have some light beverages, or something like porridge, oat porridge for like a snack, sakumi. Then in the evening, you'll eat something now healthy like sweet potatoes or Irish potatoes with white meat, chicken, fish, something like that. And it worked because it worked now on the inflammation part. Now, yes, now the pain subsided.
Okay.
But it still didn't give me what I wanted because
it was not a long-term solution.
It was not a long-term solution. It was just working on those symptoms.
Yeah, it was reducing the pain,
Yes.
managing the pain. Apart from now painkillers, now we are managing it with a proper diet.
Yes.
And
then it was when was it? 2018. Working on those meal plans. Now I've gotten a routine. It's easier now to wake up, to make those green smoothies. Life is easy, life is better. But now I still wanted a baby. So desperately. I'm a few years into my marriage. And I think we'll talk about that because it also comes with this stigma and a lot of issues. Now I want a baby. So I went back to my gynecologist who was helping me out throughout the journey. And I told him, now, doc, this is what I've been doing. I need you to give me the options. I've tried. I need you to give me other options because I'm not conceiving naturally.
Okay.
I need you to give me options. So he gave me options. The options that were there. And what even surprised me the more was that even these options were 50-50 options. And I didn't want to base my entire thing, my entire
parenthood into a 50-50 structure.
50-50 structure. Telling me you can undergo through this surgery and this surgery.
Increase your volume. Increase your
volume.
volume.
Sorry.
Tumeanza kuwhisper.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start from the point of 50-50 structure.
Okay.
I'm trying to make mic Jimmy loud enough.
Okay.
So you didn't want to base yourself into this 50-50 structure?
I didn't want. But there's this pressure at the back of my mind. We'll talk about something. I'll discuss about something. There's this pressure behind you. And you making a sober decision for you is a bit difficult.
Because you're
because there's this whole team behind you.
Expectations
yes,
from everyone.
There's this society waiting on you. You got married. It's almost 5 years, everyone is asking, hey, what happened? Hey, we're waiting. Oh, this campus figure. You have to let go of this campus figure.
Your parents are there, they're
see.
telling you, jamani, wajukua wachezi huku.
But to me, my family was the best support I got.
They were the best support
Yes,
system.
never did they even make me feel that I was lacking anything. They always encouraged me. They were there for me, praying for me. Actually, that was the support system that I had and I needed. Because if I wouldn't have them, and this pressure from everybody, when are you bringing? You're going to work, somebody's telling you, your friends are just going for maternity and coming back. When will be your turn? You see? And sometimes they can be very, I know they mean well.
Yeah.
But the way they tell you, it is very
ruthless. They just let it out.
Yes.
They don't feel
now to that person, the wearer of the shoe, it's not that very considerate.
Okay. So tell me, now after you went to your gynecologist, what did he advise you to do?
There was options for surgeries upon surgeries, of which I was not very willing at that time.
Just hold on. At that time, had they already diagnosed you?
Yes.
They knew now you had endometriosis.
Now, I knew I had endometriosis now when I got married. I told you it was latent. Yeah. Because now, when you're not conceiving, you have to now to go to a gynecologist and start saying, Daktari.
So this was basically you had to undergo like tests.
Yes, and it is not definite that they will, do the test and see that you have endometriosis, because still you'll just say this and this is happening. Then you'll say, let's do this test. Then let's do this test. Then now when the doctor starts noticing it's going on the other side, now is when they tell you, now let's now do this test. Now that is when I came to know that I had endometriosis.
Just a very funny bit. Now you discover you have endometriosis at the beginning of your marriage.
Yes.
How does your spouse take this in? Or did he have the general knowledge, or was he just as naive as everyone is on this aspect? Or what did it take for you to actually let him in to understand the fact that now we're having endometriosis together? Because this is not a journey you would do alone.
Never.
He's there with you.
Yes.
How do you do about it?
Just for starters, endometriosis is very little known about. And this field is, it's when they've dived in recently and done research, and there is no awareness, let me say, can I put it and say enough, as in people do not know about it. And even it was new to me, for real. Just reading, you can come across fibroid cysts, yes, polycystic ovaries, but then you're being told endometriosis, adenomyosis, something that I
don't even
I
know
had it, yeah. So they had to explain to me, break it down to me, carry that information back now to the house and tell my husband, this is what is happening, this is why this is not happening. It is like this, and like this, and like that.
Was he warm or cold?
It is a joy of every man.
Yes, definitely.
To
have someone that looks like them somewhere.
It is a joy of every man. But in my case, I really appreciate that man. He stood by me, for real.
Yo, we appreciate you right here. Thank you for standing with her.
He stood by me. And when I was telling you pain, I mean pain. Pain that sometimes you can't even be able to walk, and he will make his best to make me feel comfortable. He didn't know much about it, but he made me comfortable, and he wanted me well. And he was through. He was with me throughout the journey.
That is so beautiful.
He was.
So now we come back to the point of, now your gynecologist has given you workable solutions. There's surgery. What else?
The surgery. Then there was IVF and other options that I'm not very comfortable to talk about them right now. Maybe later, when I'm over it. And you have to go sit down, call yourself to a meeting.
And then decide saa gani ndio
Yes,
tunatumia.
because at the end of the day, this is you and this is your life. Unataka kwenda kwa kitu na 50-50 chance. But to me, as long as it just had that little hope that it can work out. So I had to go and sit down and say, between this and this, yeah. Then now I decided.
You made your choice.
I made my choice to undergo a laparoscopic surgery.
All right.
Yes, that was in 2019.
2019, you had it's called
Laparoscopic, yeah, laparoscopic.
Laparoscopic surgery.
Yes.
Was your final decision.
Yeah.
And then after the laparoscopic surgery,
Comes the time for
I am sorry, my fellow medic. What?
Comes the time for healing and waiting.
Healing and waiting.
Yeah.
And eventually, it found out because your introduction was I am a mother. That was the first thing.
That is a title I ever wanted to. You see, say every yes.
So good.
Yeah, it feels good.
So like, tell me, how has the fact that you being diagnosed with endometriosis affect you apart from being married and your husband? You as a person, you as Nekesa.
In fact, it's a very long story.
How has it affected you psychologically?
They say endometriosis, 1 in every 10 women has endometriosis. So to start with, why would I be that 1 in that 10?
Why would you be?
God, of all these 10, just why choose me? Why me? Why me to have difficulty in conceiving?
Difficulty in
Yes,
menses.
why me, get pregnant then have a miscarriage? And it's just not just 1 time, not just 2 times. Why me go through all this pain? I told you I was in pains every single day of the month. And I am a working person, so I'm going to work every day.
In pain.
Yes. Why me? Am I not the one conceiving? And people talking behind my back. And we live in a very funny society that instead of somebody just telling you something direct, it's like, Nekesa, why are you not bringing forth? Somebody tells you, hey, you want to maintain a compass figure. Please, it will just go. Just tell me. Yes. Like, why you,
the compass, you,
yes,
the young you,
yes,
scared.
or somebody will tell you, I have not seen you for a while. Why are you on maternity? Which is very rude.
True.
Yeah, it's very rude because if I were on maternity, I would have just told you.
You would have known.
Yes, I would
would have seen
yes.
me badge. Watu huku nje jamani.
And then it is me who is going to the doctors every time, to be receiving the bad news every time. Miriam, now this is what is happening. Nekesa, this is what is happening. That is, it takes a toll on you.
True.
Every single day. I am the one who has to pick myself up every day and being invited for baby showers all over the place.
And you have to
when at night I'm the one crying, asking God, then when will my time come? You see? And I wish society will just be kinder to some situations, not just this, every situation. You don't know what people are going through. It be kind to them. Sometimes we are very ignorant, and I mean it in all the best sense. As in, yes,
plot.
because you're saying to you mean well. You want this person to have what you're talking about, but that is not the case. Kindly be kind to them. You never know what those people go through every single day. They never know how you have to gather up energy every morning to wake up, just to go to, go to work. Yeah? And then, going to work, you've never gone for maternity leave. Do you know it's also exhausting to the body? People are going and coming back.
And they have stories, work on
yes,
stories
the only thing you can do is apply for annual leave,
Well, but I'm so happy to hear your story and just feel like you have made it through it all. At least you had the best support system. Because I know of people out here who do not have a support system. They're actually just supporting themselves. It's you against the world.
Yes.
And I am so proud of you for actually just being that one person to pick yourself up and know, you know what, I know this is happening and we're going to get better. I hope you kept telling yourself, I will be better.
Yeah.
I hope.
There are those days you tell yourself it will be better.
It will be better.
And what I always say is that, you know, be kind to yourself too. Because the entire world is, you know, you feel it's against you and it's harsh. So be kind to yourself.
Love yourself.
You know, count every single day as a milestone. Every small accomplishment, you know, pat yourself so that you allow yourself to have energy for the next day. Be kind to yourself.
Yo, people, we're going to take a commercial break and we are going to come back here. And once we do, we're going to hear the rest of her story since it is still so beautiful, okay? Keep it here. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for keeping it locked every Wednesday at 11 a.m. here on the Fireplace Show and Studio for your favorite show, Between the Lines. So I'm back with my very beautiful guest, Nekesa, and now we have had her story all throughout, and I would just like her to tell us, after now you had been given workable solutions, you went in with a lapa what? Lapas whatever.
Yes.
The surgeries. What? Ukikuyu hainikubali. The surgery, and now you are a mom. Tell us of the day you were called and told, Nekesa, now you're pregnant.
Okay, first, you see, endometriosis comes with a lot of hormonal imbalance. So, you know, with hormonal imbalance, there are those days that the periods are late, you know, like even for a month or 2 months. And then the times when they were, like, I used to be in extreme pain, I would, you know, take these jabs so that I don't have this. So,
You'd pass your
yes,
menses.
I'd press. So when it was, you know, it's 1 month, I'm good because it's always,
normal.
yeah, it's late and second month. So when it was almost ending the second month, I'm like, no, actually, I'm feeling funny. I'm feeling a bit funny. Let me do a test. So I did the home test first. Have you ever thought, you know, it is chances are 0, but you're thinking, can this thing be? Maybe it is expired or something.
Interfered with.
Yes. I have to confirm. So I had to go to a hospital, and you know, the doctor is telling me, I'm like, doctor, you know, you don't know what I'm saying. I'm telling you I have endometriosis, and don't you forgotten? It's like, no, this is what's happening. I'm like, no, daktari, you will do it tomorrow again, because maybe I think these the hormonal things, you know. Daktari is like, no, Miriam,
you're pregnant.
And you know that moment that you used to tell, I used to tell myself when I'd be told, you know, I'm positive, you know, going and running around and, you know, telling what and who and jumping. It never happened like that.
You were digesting.
Yeah, it humbled me in a way that I can't explain up to now.
You okay.
Yes.
Ulikuwa unajambia ile unajikuta hivi una ama huyu daktari hakuwa serious.
Paka ni zile za unaenda, I didn't tell my husband, you know, I told you I had miscarriages, yes. Couple of them. So it's like, tusiseme hii news mapema, imvunje tu roho. So I'm like, I'm holding on it week by week, and weeks are just going, you know. So wakati wenye unajua umefika, wakati wenye naanza kuonekana is when, like, now you're saying, now this thing is real. For me, haikuwa kwa ile ya kukimbia and, you know, saying, oh, sweetie, you know, we are pregnant. No.
Surprise.
The romance thing, surprise, baby. It wasn't like that. Because it had to hit me fast. I had to wait, you know. As much as I know I am, it was humbling for me. Like, you have to, you know, usiongee sana.
Wakenya wanasema usiseme mapema, watu huku nje si wazuri sana.
Exactly. So that is how it was for me. You know, people always say, "Oh, baby, pregnant, you're pregnant." I didn't. That wasn't my case. It was not for me.
Ulikuwa very calm.
Very calm.
You're selecting your moves. Your cards were
Until
like...
he was suspecting me, is like, nowadays you're acting kinda this and this. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I think work and stuff. Until no, I said, I went. Yes, and this is what the doctor said.
And I believe
And
he was so happy about it.
Yeah, to him, no, he was happy.
He was
very
the one now to... We are pregnant.
Yes.
No, that is good. So, what are the main challenges you have faced as a woman under this period that you have actually now discovered I have endometriosis? Now, it's not like until now I'm experiencing period pain. Now you have grown, you have been diagnosed, you have endometriosis. What are the main challenges that you actually faced?
You know, it's not that it was a mistake or anything, but if I would have known earlier, I would have sought for a solution much earlier. And I'm just saying, maybe I wouldn't have experienced the pain that I did for these many years. So the first challenge actually is misdiagnosis. You know, first of all, you don't know, let me say lack of awareness, then misdiagnosis. Because you don't know about it, you will just say how you're feeling. And you know, the diseases and symptoms, there are many similar symptoms to
endometriosis.
Or I'll say, there are different diseases that might have similar symptoms. So you might say this symptom and it's directing to this disease, yet it's not that. Yeah, until you go through the tests.
Yes.
And by the time now you go through the tests,
it's late.
Yes, it has taken time. Number two, the tests are not cheap. The tests, the surgeries, the treatments,
the recovery.
Yes, the prescriptions, none is cheap. They're expensive. We had to dig into our savings heavily, deeply. And you know, my heart cries, warms out to those people that mama who's selling a skuma in a kibanda. Where will she get that money? A peasant person that
who has
a daughter who's it pains me a lot to know that you can go through a situation, and not that you can't get treated for it, it's just that you can't afford the treatment, you can't afford the medications, you can't afford to even just go for that simple test.
Even that consultation.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you suffer your entire life because you don't even know what is ailing you.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is why we're going through, to schools. It's better for children to identify and, these periods, painful periods, let them know early that it is not normal, so that find a way possible. Though it is a long stretch, but we believe that as long as even one person just gets help, at the end of the day, I've saved that one person in 10.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there is this societal pressure. And not that, when people get married, actually it is their decision when to have children, when to have what. But there is this pressure that when you get married, you have to have, they start to have, after 3 months, if they're looking at you and you're still just catwalking around, my friend, there is a problem. But that is not how it's supposed to be. You see, for me, maybe my husband told me, Mama, we have to work, save up some money for this. So nasema mtoto akikuja anakuja na sahani yake. Wacha akuje ka iko ready. Maybe umeplan after 2 years. Na after 3 months bana watu
washaanza kuuliza huyu alienda na hakuna kitu janaleta.
Kunaendaje. Yeah, we know they mean well, but they should allow people just
to make a free decision.
Yes, to make a free decision, and have peace. Because I won't go around advertising I have endometriosis, I won't go around justifying myself that explaining to everybody, you telling me, Miriam, it's been 6 months, nianze tena kupigia story, Give people some time, allow people to, if I feel like talking to you, I tell you, my friend, this is what is happening, pray with me, or I'll choose to keep quiet. It's my decision, and I pray that people will respect. And then, you being a woman, we are raised up being that, the definition of womanhood is you having children. But
that is our main
yes,
goal.
that is how the society describes it. Definition of a true woman, kuna watoto huku wanapiga kelele. But actually that's not true. When you're married, a husband and wife, that is a family in itself.
They have their own decision in themselves.
Children wanakuja tu baadaye. These are blessings from God. We appreciate. But si lazima
ati wakuwe ni must.
Yes, because nowadays there's these choices. There are women who have chosen not to have children, not because they have any problem, not because they're not hiding anything. They just feel they don't have the not even that. They're like, emotionally they don't want to have kids.
True.
Yeah, you see. And those ones that want to adopt but they can have. You see. So I think people should just allow people to be who they are. And then, for what I would say is, because of all these things that happens, they bring for you a pressure. You want to carry a burden of your entire community. You will not be able to do that. At the end of the day, I think it's up to us.
You come first.
Yes. Take yourself first. Be kind to yourself. Think about yourself too.
As we conclude, guys, thank you so much for keeping it locked. Thank you so much for interacting with us every single day. And thank you so much, Nekesa, for coming and sharing a part of your story with us. Just one statement to women out there that they would never forget when it comes to them putting themselves first.
What I would like to say to women who are undergoing through, problems and pressures that you cannot share. One thing you need to know, you do not need to suffer alone. Kindly reach out. Reach out to that even just one person who can listen to you. They might not help, but that just one person that can listen. Kindly reach out. Do not suffer in silence. Yeah? Do not let it bring you down. You are the one with the problem. Nobody understands. So you should not let the society dictate to you what you're supposed to do. You are the one suffering. You're the wearer of the shoes. You know where it pinches most. So you reach out. Nowadays, there is Google. Research and see the options that are out there. Or seek consultation. Seek consultation so that you can be able to get help. And by the end of the day, just be you. Do you. Be happy to do you, to be yourself. Don't let other people determine. We always say, usikubali weather ya mtu ikuwe yako. Usichukue hiyo. Just do what makes you happy. Do what makes you live for another day. Acha kusikiza and putting what people will say, whether you do good, whether you do bad, whether you even after you give birth to that child, they still say, oh, alikuwa anajifanya, sasa anatakana kuwe na watatu, and you uko tu na wewe mmoja. So at the end of the day, do you be happy with your decisions.
And finally, guys, we are done with this very nice episode, and thank you Kari, asante sana kwa kukuja na kushare story yako. And maybe any woman who is out there and she is dealing with endometriosis, how can she reach you? So at least she can have someone aseme at least ataya anajua what I'm going through. Maybe you can give them your social handles, at least if you do have that. Just at least mtu anakufikia akuulize for 1, 2, 3 advice.
All my social handles, you'll find me on Mia Kens, at Mia Kens, on all of them. MIAKENS. Mia Kens.
Mia Kens.
Yes.
So if you need to talk to her and ask her more about her story, Mia Kens. I am out, guys. I am out. It's your bold and beautiful girl, Anna Between the Lines, in the Fireplace Studios. I love you so much. See you next Wednesday.